Kid, and welcome to KidTime StoryTime.
Oh, substitute groundhog, huh?
Yeah, White Rat.
You know, 1 year I applied to be the substitute groundhog.
Oh, did you get the job?
No, can you believe it?
You know why? They didn't give you the job?
Yeah. Something about I had to work a holiday, but you know, I don't work holidays.
Well, I don't think Groundhog is a holiday.
Yep, it is in my book.
Well, that would explain why you didn't get that job. Anyway, here we go. Groundhog. Oh, hey, Hootie. Ooh. Yeah, I was just actually about to read Substitute Groundhog. Ooh. No way. Kid, did you catch that? No? Oh, well, Hootie was saying that his uncle, you said? His uncle, the doctor, is in this book? And you're very proud. Well, I could totally understand why. Well, do you want to read along with us? All right. Well, without any further interruptions, let's get this thing started before who knows who shows up claiming they were a substitute groundhog. All right. Here we go. The day before Groundhog Day, Groundhog woke up sick. Oh no, look at that. He's holding onto his throat. His muscles ached. His throat hurt. Oh no. Groundhog felt so awful. He went to see Dr. Owl. Oh my gosh, it's your uncle, right? Oh, I love how you love your uncle. All right, back to reading. So, Dr. Owl said, "You have a bad case of flu, you do," said Dr. Owl. "You need hot clover soup and bed rest for 2 days." How many? Two. But Groundhog Day was tomorrow. Groundhog couldn't let everyone down because he was too sick to do his job. I mean, he has one big gig a year. You can't be sick for it. So, obviously, he tried to think of something. On his way home to bed, Groundhog passed the Heidi Hole Diner. Doesn't that place look cozy and delicious? He saw want ads from all the neighborhood animals tacked to a nearby tree. So Skunk was looking for a roommate again. Mr. and Mrs. Duck were returning north and had their nest for rent. Oh, kind of like a little avian Airbnb. I know what I'll do, Groundhog thought. I'll advertise for a substitute groundhog. Brilliant idea. Let's see, he says, weather teller wanted, no experience needed. Oh, I thought you'd need some experience. Apply at Groundhog's Hole, February 1st, 10 a.m. Thanks, Groundhog. Oof, cutting it close. Oh, man. Groundhog Day is the very next day, February 2nd. Oh, I hope somebody shows up in time. Well, by 10 o'clock, a line of animals are waiting to try out. Unemployment must be high in the animal community. Oh, great, said Groundhog with a sneeze. Surely one of you can do Groundhog Day for me. Mole was first. Well, you have to go down in my hole, Groundhog told Mole. It's pretty dark down there. No problem, said Mole. My own hole is even darker. Oh, okay, that's good. Experience. So, Mole got comfortable underground. Now, come up and look for your shadow, Groundhog shouted. So Mole peeked over the edge. His little eyes squinted. Well, Mole, what do you see? Mole spoke to a tree. Is that you, Groundhog? Groundhog blew his nose. This won't work. I need someone who sees well. I can see well, said a voice from high overhead. Groundhog looked up and saw Eagle. Oh, that's why they have the saying eagle eyes, because they can see extremely well. Eagle swooped down, majestically, I'm sure. From that mountain ledge, Groundhog, I could see a bit of owl feather stuck in your fur. I'd say you've been to Dr. Owl recently. Wow, then surely you will have no trouble seeing your shadow, said Groundhog. Climb down in the hole and let's practice. Climb down? Said Eagle. He looked at the entrance to the hole. Will there be room down there to stretch my wings? He stretched them wide. Very wide. Groundhog scratched his scratchy throat. Oh, this won't work. I need someone who sees well and is not bothered by small spaces. Well, that is not an eagle. An eagle is sort of an up in the sky type of guy, not a down in the hole in the ground kind of guy. You should have seen that coming, although the eyesight was definitely a bonus. Well, Bear stepped up next. My own cave is snug and cozy. Great, said Groundhog. Climb down and let's practice. "This is perfect!" yelled Bear from the hole. "It's even more comfy than my own cave." "Well, come on and take a look," called Groundhog. There was no answer. Groundhog poked his head down below. "Bear, come look for your shadow." By the way, check out the Groundhog's digs. Pretty nice, right? It's got a comfy chair, got a little footstool, a little fireplace action going, some art on the walls. I'd hang out. Oh, look what happened. Someone got a little too comfortable. Well, the only answer, Mole, that the Groundhog got was a... Well, Groundhog was frustrated, understandably. He needed a substitute who could see well, wasn't bothered by small spaces, and wouldn't fall asleep on the job. Hello. I mean, job 101 is not falling asleep.
I can do it. I can do it. Let me try.
That squirrel there, bouncing to the front of the line. "Okay," said Groundhog. "Go down in the hole, come back up, and look for your shadow." Squirrel leaped right in. Whee! Then she popped her head back up. Groundhog said, "See your shadow?"
Oh, I forgot to look.
Down she went again. She popped back up. She dropped back down. "I keep forgetting to look." Squirrel giggled. She popped up and down some more.
This is fun.
Well, what Groundhog needed was someone who would pop up and stay up, not jump up and down and up and down. Well, by now, Groundhog was beginning to feel even worse. I mean, this is exhausting. He thought of his warm bed. Was he ever going to find a substitute? "Howdy there, Groundhog. How about giving me a chance?" Up stepped this strange-looking creature. "My name is Armadillo," she said. "Oh, you're not from around here, are you?" asked Groundhog. "Nope. I'm from Texas, visiting my cousin Badger," she said. "But I can do this job. I live in a hole. I like small spaces. I see my shadow just fine. And I will pop up and stay up." "Well, girl, you sound like you have all the makings to be a perfect substitute Groundhog." But Groundhog wasn't so sure. I mean, Groundhog had been burned before. Armadillo was a stranger from far away. What did she know about the weather here? But she did have all the qualifications for the job, and time is running out, people. "All right," said Groundhog. "Let's see how you do." Let's hoping for the best. Cross fingers, everybody. Armadillo climbed down into the Groundhog's hole. Cute birds. She poked her head up, looked around. Sure enough, she saw her shadow. Now, if that happens tomorrow, tell folks that winter will drag on," said Groundhog. "But if you don't see your shadow tomorrow, spring will come early." "Got it," said Armadillo. Well, do we have a deal here? Is this a done deal? Are we going to have a substitute Groundhog instead of Groundhog Day, Armadillo Day? "Well, I think you're just the substitute I've been looking for," said Groundhog. "You're hired." "Thanks," said Armadillo. They shook paws, like you do. Then Groundhog climbed down his hole into bed. He slipped on some warm clover soup. He plumped up his pillows and tucked his sore self under this pretty colorful flannel quilt. He's got his teddy bear with him and a nice pot of tea and then a nice book. Me and my shadow, the whole story to pass some time. Oh, and there's a circle on February 2nd, his big day. Can't believe he's going to be sick for it, but thank goodness we found this substitute. The next morning, the animals gathered early to hear what Armadillo would say. It was cold and crisp. Look at that, beautiful blue skies. As the sun peeked over the forest, look at that beautiful forest in the background, those trees. And we got Mr. Skunk here. I wonder if he ever found the roommate. We got this other fella here, Mole. That's Mole. He tried to be substitute, but well, we know what happened there. And there's Mr. Eagle. Big, beautiful, excellent vision, but not good with the whole thing. The whole thing. Get it? Well, Badger served hot chocolate. Squirrel bounced and cheered for Armadillo. Eagle flew high above the trees. Muddy Mole looked sleepy, and Bear was, well, he wasn't here. He was still in bed. The animals grew quiet as Armadillo poked her head up and carefully looked around. There, on the ground, She saw the shadow of her tiny ears and pointy nose. 6 more weeks of winter, she announced. Oh no, not more winter. Armadillo dropped back into Groundhog's hole. Did you hear that, Groundhog? 6 more weeks of winter. Groundhog from his bed. How you feeling, Groundhog? Armadillo asked. Oh, a little better, but I'd feel a lot better if it was spring already, Groundhog said. Spring already? Said Armadillo. Say, that gives me an idea. Armadillo found Groundhog's suitcase. What? Get your gear together, Groundhog. It's already spring in Texas. You can come home with me. Oh, really? Said Groundhog. He imagined himself rolling in warm grass instead of sneezing through 6 more weeks of cold. You bet, said Armadillo. So Groundhog jumped from his bed with a new energy that was previously missing. He grabbed his teddy bear, of course, not going to go anywhere without Teddy, and his toothbrush, absolutely necessary, we must be hygienic, and tossed them into the suitcase. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe an extra change of clothes, some jammies. Do you have any fabulous boots like that? Don't worry, just take cash. Buy some cool boots when you get there. And a hat. We definitely need a hat. I've always wanted to see Texas. Do you think they have cowboy hats in my size? Asked Groundhog. Sure is. Texas has a lone star, said Armadillo. Together they walked through the cold to the bus station, and their shadows followed them all the way there. Bye, y'all. Have a good time in Texas. That's the way to go. There, the winter's not nearly as cold. Ooh. Yes, absolutely. Apparently, going to Texas was what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? Yes, yes. Your uncle, the doctor. And you're very proud. Bye, Hootie.
I guess the armadillo was all right. I would have been much better if only they would have had Groundhog Day on February the 3rd. That's what I say, you know? Just change it over for a day. How could it hurt?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is based on February 2nd, so I think it would have hurt. I hope that you enjoyed your substitute Groundhog and that next year Groundhog will be A-OK and in the pink to celebrate. And unless he's permanently moved to Texas, you never know. Well, see you, kid. Have a happy Groundhog Day, and let's hope for spring, not more winter. See you next time.